this very room is quite enough love for us. And this very room is quite enough joy for all of us. There's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away for spirit, for spirit is in this very room, in this very room, in this very room.
Thank you, Elaine and Barry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to all of you in the room. And to those of you watching us somewhere out there online, you're a part of our family, a growing family, a community of, I call, free thinkers, people with open minds and open hearts. We like to begin every week by remembering that we're teaching universal spiritual principles here, which in essence means there's a power for good in this universe. It's available to everyone, and you use it when you think. That consciousness precedes form and experience. It's a revolutionary idea, but an ancient truth. Some people understand that the man Jesus taught this very thing in his own words. And so we continue in that tradition by teaching it in modern language, backed up by science. So thank you for being here. We begin every Sunday morning with a spiritual mind treatment, which is very different from traditional prayers, but very effective. So I'm going to begin now, and all you have to do is just, if you feel like it, close your eyes and just relax into it. As we begin by remembering that the one power, the one life that makes everything out of itself by becoming the thing it makes, is the aliveness we feel in our own body. It is the awareness of I am that preceded our birth and brought us through into this realm, this dimension of physical experience. We know that that power and that presence is the only power there is. There is no conflict. There is no duality. There is only one. One love, one joy, one peace, one vitality that turns itself into every human experience by means of the human it is being. And it's one way of saying God is right here, right now, within and without and all about. We are immersed in spirit, and it is immersed in us. Knowing that, we shift our perception from wanting to giving, from needing to circulation, from desire to fulfilled expression, from conflict to peace, from depression to joy, and all the human experiences dissolve into a higher level of living as we know this truth. And so today we bring ourselves into this room to be more receptive than we ever have been to hearing this ancient truth in modern language, knowing it means something to us individually, and that it is ours to accept and to bring into our individual lives for the joy of it, for the good of it, for the fun of it, and for the betterment of our world. And so I affirm today that everybody here receives what their heart is seeking, whether that is an aha, an insight, a revelation, a realization, or even a physical healing. It is done. Before they call, Spirit answers. And so we affirm that, we are grateful for it, and we thank Spirit itself for this wonderful room, this beautiful teaching in each one of us here today. The music, the message, everything about it is simply a joyful time together. And so from that place we begin this morning by affirming, and so it is.
So it is.
And so it is. Now I invite you to sing.
All right. Stand as you are able. We're all able, right? All right. We're going to do this song called We Let It Be. And welcome, everyone. And it's not in you don't need your bulletin, because I'm going to teach it to you. Here it is. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. That's it. We've done this before. Okay, now, did anybody do their 25 jumping jacks this morning? Yeah. Okay. Oh, you did? Good. Well, then you don't have to do the hand motions. For the rest of us, let the love wash over us on the word over. All right? Here we go. 3, 4.
Wash over us. We let it be.
One more time. Yeah.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Let the joy.
We let the joy wash over us. We let it be.
Let's try that again. We let the joy.
Wash over us.
We let the peace.
Wash over us.
We let the love.
We let the love wash over us. We let
It be one more time.
wash over us. It be.
All right. It is blowing out there. Thank you.
All right, so we have a group reading. Let's say it together. It's in your program. There is one life, both visible and invisible. I seem to be talking to myself here. Let's start over. Ready? There's one life, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect intelligence. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect intelligence. So we're going to learn more about that today and what it actually means in very practical terms. But right now, I'm turning it back over to Barry and to Lee. They have something special song to sing for you.
We want you to sing on this one, all right? I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I'm so happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Let's sing. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I'm so happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. A little birdie told me that life is so sweet as I listen to his song. I know I am released and I'm all the keys to love, joy, and peace. Power is in the land, my will increase. I'm so happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I'm so happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. A little birdie told me life is so sweet as I listen to his song. I know I am complete. I have all the keys to love, joy, and peace. Power is infinite, and I will increase. I'm so happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I'm so happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm so happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, thank you so much. I love this teaching so much. Changed my life. That's kind of a catchphrase now. Every product's going to change your life, right? You hear that all the time. This does, actually. Some of us relate to it as before Science of Mind and after Science of Mind, and comparing the way we perceive the world. Completely different. Some of it was innate, but we had forgotten. And when we heard the words spoken about this teaching, suddenly we remembered. It was a sense that we knew this already. It's uncommon sense. A friend of mine who first heard about this teaching, someone explained it to him, and he said, "Oh, that's just common sense, isn't it?" And that person said, "No. If it were, we'd be living in a very different world."
Yeah.
If this teaching, the universal principles that consciousness creates, form, and experience, that the individual mind is a co-creator with an universal intelligence and it operates through us by means of us, Can you imagine how different this world would be? If we knew that our natural self is whole, complete, healthy, whole, vital, vitalized center of God's consciousness. If we knew that God was not a man in the sky, but an ever alive presence in everything that lives. Ernest Holmes said, God makes everything out of itself by becoming the thing it makes. That's a very powerful statement. I repeat it a lot because that's one that got me when I was new to this teaching. God makes everything out of itself by becoming the thing it makes. Well, what does that mean that I am? That I'm an individualization of it, a personification of it. And as such, I am here to reveal what it is individually. That's one of the secrets of the ages. That's one of the most profound truths there is. And we just toss it off here like it's nothing because we're used to it. But it is not common sense. What is common sense tells us that life is hard and then you die. Common sense tells us that life is a struggle, that you have to work hard, keep your nose to the grindstone if you ever want to prosper. Then most people never make it. Common sense says relationships don't usually work out. They're hard. You got to work at it. Nothing comes easy. Common sense tells us that health is a win some, lose some proposition, and that it's almost impossible to raise a child these days. You know, Socrates complained about the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember that quote from Socrates, something about kids these days?
Teenagers, yeah.
And every generation says that. Okay, that's common sense. It's not very wise. Wisdom is another matter. Several years ago, I was doing an interim ministry for a center that needed a minister. They'd been out without one for quite a while. And so outside teachers came in to teach them or workshop with them about what is the one quality you want in your new minister. I wasn't present, but I heard about it the next day, and they had chosen love. Well, that would seem like common sense. We want our minister to be full of love. And I said to them, it wasn't a popular remark, by the way. I said, I would have chosen wisdom because wisdom contains love. But human love doesn't always contain wisdom.
Yeah.
I have living proof of that one, right? We've all had some experiences with human love that were less than wonderful. But when we are wise, we see through appearances and we're able to choose differently. Wisdom comes from within. Common sense is about observing the outside world, looking at the news, statistics, actuarial tables. It's all about out there. That's where common sense is formed. Well, this happened, so that must be right about that. But wisdom comes from within. It's intuitive. It can be guidance. It's an innate knowing. It's such a deep well of understanding that we have a name for it, wisdom. But really it's our natural state. And it has been covered over by years of false teachings and false beliefs and craziness. But when we start really practicing the principles of this teaching, we start to uncover ourselves. It's more of an unlearning, isn't it? It's getting back to what we were born knowing, because everybody knows this before they're born. That's one of the reasons we came here, was to express it, to express spirit. That's a whole other talk. We won't go there today. Love is better than hate. That's wisdom. Wisdom knows that. Wisdom knows that moderation is a pretty good path to follow in this life. That nature knows what she's doing, and wisdom trusts nature. But here's the big one. Wisdom says, yes, Mr. Einstein, the universe is friendly. That was his big question. Is the universe friendly? And how we answer that dictates how we live. Now, if you look at the universe scientifically, you see comets and exploding novas and black holes sucking up whole star systems and things running into meteors, running into other planets. And so we say, oh, it's hostile. No, it's just nature doing its thing. That's the visible creative process that we can observe. But life itself is for us and never against us. That's Ernest Holmes said that, and it's true. It is not hostile. The universe is friendly. So can we answer that today? Can we say, yes, the universe is friendly? All right, that's something we really, really need to know. Wisdom may not be common sense, but it is good sense. It is the sense that we live in a field of love, intelligence, like love/intelligence. One thing, masculine, feminine, both of equal power, both of equal purpose. And when they are in balance in the human consciousness, we have a very different world than we have now, because now the feminine is missing, has been for a long time. But we are all of both. We have both of the energies. Remember, there's one Genesis version that says, let us make them in our image and likeness. So male and female, actually it's masculine and feminine. So wisdom wants to circulate everything. Wisdom wants everything to be balanced and fair and harmonious, and that's what the masculine and feminine is seeking to happen in our world. That's what's happening in the world right now. It really is the effect of the toxic masculine attempting to push the feminine back into suppression. I'm talking about spiritual consciousness, not men and women, okay? They act it out, but it's a bigger energy that's happening. You know, we have been, Koyaanisqatsi, the Native Americans say, out of balance for a very long time. So that's what's happening. And so for you and I to participate wisely in that, we need to recognize for ourselves when we are out of balance with one or the other and bring ourselves back into harmonious connection with both aspects of our nature, the feminine and the masculine. Wisdom wants to circulate everything because it knows that money, love, joy, peace, ideas, time, talents, everything is meant to be shared and circulated. You know, I feel like when we're giving intentionally and consciously, that's the highest interaction with spirit we have. That is when we are really exemplifying the truth that we are one with that spirit, that it is being us in some way. Because Ernest Holmes says this, he says, we must identify with the lavish and relentless givingness of this universe. It's constantly circulating and pouring itself in and out of form through the avenue of consciousness. So our giving is a sacred act. And that means circulation, participation, being one with things and participating in them. That's how we generate prosperity, is by circulation and prosperity and participation. So it is the ultimate in trust. When we trust that which I give is multiplied and returned to me so that I might continue to express spirit in this way. Wisdom says there ought to be, I'm sorry, I don't want to go there. Another talk. I just edited myself. We might ask ourselves, am I wise in the way I use money? That's a good thing to consider. Wise, am I wise in the way I use money? Am I using it to participate in life in a greater level, to circulate my good? Am I proving the lavish and relentless givingness of the universe by means of me? Does wisdom guide my reactions to other people, especially my significant other? Or am I responding from ego, or reacting from ego needs? Wisdom sees through that. I think of my grandmother. She used to say, just count to 10 before you react to it.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual advice, isn't it? Just stop. Like, don't say it, but count to 10. And then see what comes from your soul, from your heart, because your soul and your heart are never negative. They are always loving and giving and kind and uplifting and inspirational, always. Wisdom gives, it doesn't take. It circulates and is part of the prosperity vibration. It's wise to forgive, to release old ideas, to start from source again and again. My old friend, Michael Beckwith, who has a big work in LA, In his first book, he wrote, and I consider all of us here evolved. He said, evolved people rush to forgive first. That's a big one. Before anything else, as it happens, the slight, the insult, the whatever it is, forgive it now. Let it go now. Don't carry anything with us. Evolved people hang on to nothing that would limit their next experience of love or joy or peace or prosperity or vitality. Uncommon sense tells us that our life is lived from the inside out, and other people do not define us. How many of us have figured that one out? It's not easy, is it, when you live in a world of other people and they react to you and they say things to you, and now in the world of social media, oh my gosh, you don't want to be well known, believe me. Everybody has an opinion about who you are and what you should be doing next. It's just the way it is. So, but they don't define them, you know. And I know from listening to celebrities talk about how they've been attacked online, many of the wise ones say, "I've stopped reading it. I just go back into myself and I know who I am. I'm not defined by all those remarks." And that's something we need to do too, is reclaim our self-identity. So a life is lived from the inside out. It starts here and proceeds in this direction. So we ask ourselves, what am I holding on to that seems like common sense to do? It seems like common sense to protect yourself if you've been hurt in relationships, right? It seems like common sense, but it isn't. If we were able to just step away and let it go and affirm our identity is intact, we are as worthy of love as we've ever been, and that there is a right relationship for us, and we know it when we see it. You know, you keep affirming and treating your mind about this thing, rather than just holding on to it, and what will happen is we'll repeat it. The same energy will show up in our life, and that's true of anything. So one of the great realizations is we don't need to protect ourselves because life is for us and not against us. We don't need to protect ourselves. We need to be clear about what we expect in this life. And so we ask ourselves, besides what am I holding on to, what do I think I need to be me? Well, wisdom says you're whole and complete as you are. You can add things to you, but they don't change your value. This is important. So many people accumulate things thinking it makes them a better person, makes them more beautiful, makes them more attractive, makes them more desirable, whatever it is, but it's not true. You know, we talk in prosperity classes sometimes, people say, well, what about billionaires? So what about them? You know, why do you have an issue with billionaires? And the truth is, there are a lot of people with a lot of money who have a very strong lack consciousness, and that's why they can't get enough. If you can't get enough of anything, you're coming from lack. But prosperous people don't have to amass and store up and hoard. Prosperous people circulate and move it. It keeps moving. Life is a dance. It's all about movement, right? So we're not to say, if I were really more spiritual, I'd be more prosperous. No, I'd be rich. That's not necessarily true. As long as we are moving in this life, having what we need before we even know we need it, that's what Jesus said. Before they call, I will answer. Before the need arises, the need will be fulfilled. This is what it means to be conscious of the good is already at hand. And so we never feel that gap. There's no gap between desire and fulfillment. Not really. It plays out in time and space, but there's no real gap. It's already ours. What we need to be ourselves, we already have. That's wisdom speaking. I'm going to do something different today than I have in the past because of the topic. And you'd be thinking about this. At the end of this, whatever it is, I'm going to open it up to questions and see if you have something has perked in you while I was speaking and you would like to know more about it. Because it's hard, you know, like sometimes people have a real burning question and then they'll try to corner me out there when everybody else is talking. It's just not a good way. So be sure to think of anything you want to ask and I'll answer you right here. Okay, so it's like being, when we're trapped in false beliefs, it's like being on a merry-go-round that we can't get off. You remember in grade school, that thing that went around and you stood up and held onto it? And then there was always some bully that started doing this and you couldn't get off, and kids would start falling on it. And life can get like that. Life can get like that if we're not being wise in the use of our mind and the use of our self-expression and in our beliefs. So wisdom says, listen to your heart, spend time daily with your inner self, talk to the universe, ask questions, wisdom will answer. The one thing I learned about this teaching early on, and I said this last time I was here, is that the universe is somehow responsive to us. That's the thing. See, there's no man up there that answers prayers. The whole system is one of cause-effect. The whole system is one of call and response. The whole system is one of the invisible becoming visible, ideas taking form. That's what the whole universe is like that. So if we can ask questions, we can ask for an answer, and the answer will pop up because we are one with it. Back at the turn of the century, we were with the Dalai Lama, and Jean Houston said, Your Holiness, what is the most important thing for humans to know at the turn of the century? And he said, the fact of our oneness with everything, with each other, with nature, with the universe. We are not separate. The separation is an appearance designed to give us an individualized expression, but we are not separate. So the universe withholds nothing to the one who enters into a relationship with it. And that means the unseen, the not yet known realm of experience, of potential. And we sit in its presence and we ask for guidance, and it will come. Ernest Holmes said, I picked up the Science of Mind book today and just turned it randomly to a page, and I think it was page 127 that I wrote down. It said, when we know we are one with God and law, what a great burden is removed. Any sense of opposition is removed if we perceive unity. It is presence and principle, spirit and law. And when spirit acts, it acts as law. Indisputable law. That's on page 127. Ernest Holmes said, he was asked, I cannot imagine God not caring. And he said, I cannot either, but we are dealing with law. So it's not whimsical, it doesn't play favorites, it doesn't teach lessons, it doesn't intervene. It does what it is asked to do by responding. It responds to us by corresponding to our highest idea, our highest knowing. And then he went on to say, Dr. Holmes, does electricity care whether it cooks dinner or burns down a house? Whether it warms a saint or electrocutes a criminal? Does the urge which impels people to express care whether we kneel in ecstasy or lie drunk in the gutter? It does not care. It cannot, because God acting becomes law. In other words, if it didn't, we could not have an individualized experience. We would all have the same experience all the time. The universe would go off. It would shut off. This is the individuality and self-expression is the way we keep everything moving forward. It's the way evolution happens. It's the way the species evolves, is by individuals expressing. Okay, so he said, when we are dealing with law, when the presence acts, it is law. That is uncommon sense to know that. So on page 52 of the Science of Mind book, I read this in every class. I've been teaching these classes for 4 years, and I read this to every class I teach in the beginning because it's so funny. It's about the law. People say, I don't believe in the law. About our law, you get all that. He said, if we believe that it will not work, it really works by appearing to not work. When we believe it cannot and will not, then according to the principle, it does not. But when it does not, it still does. Only it does according to our belief that it will not. This is our own punishment through the law of cause and effect. We do not enter in because of doubts and fears. It is not punishment imposed upon us by the Spirit of God, but an automatic result of failing constructively to use its laws. And so this is one way that people get tripped up when they start this teaching, is they have a really hard time getting rid of the old God concepts of somebody apart from us answering our prayers. And the thing is, every football team prays before, but only one wins, right? Why are some prayers answered and others aren't? It has to do with belief, not the source. It has nothing to do with spirit, nothing to do with God. It has to do with expectation, with belief. People are praying right now all over the world and their prayers are not being answered because they are only effective if the person believes it. You see, the prayer does not change God, it changes us. The purpose of spiritual mind treatment, which is the class I'm going to start teaching next week. The purpose of spiritual mind treatment is to bring our mind into alignment with truth. Because when we're facing a limitation, we're out of alignment. We're believing something less than what is true. This is very, very important and very powerful. Yeah, I'm supposed to start the class next week, and if you want to know more about it, I'll answer your questions either now or after. So anybody have a burning question? Anything you would like me to comment on or clear up? Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, what about the law of karma? I don't see a lot about that in Science of Mind.
Well, karma is just effects of a previous cause. It comes from India, primarily, as a way of explaining why some people are born less than others in appearance. They just said, oh, well, it must have been in a past life. So we don't teach karma. We say you can change it. Set up, because spiritual mind treatment, the purpose of it is to set up a new cause, a new series of cause and effect, thereby just eliminating the karmic law.
So in a sense, this teaching is working on the right side of the law of karma, you could say.
That's one way to put it, working on the right side of the law. It's working with a very active awareness of the law, that I am dealing with something neutral that responds to me as I respond to it. So my best ideas tend to come into fruition. Not because of karma, because I'm setting up the cause right now. And it's never too late. You can do it at any time. Because there's a wholeness matrix in us. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Speak, go for it, hold your peace. No, that's too bad. Well, maybe next time we'll let you write down your questions. You sure? I can feel someone has something, I can feel it. Okay, all right, so we'll close with the treatment. And I'm gonna just give you a brief sense of the steps. We begin by recognizing that there's spirit is all there is, that it is everywhere present, all at once, all the time, all of it. Never withdrawing, never withholding, and it has no opposition. There aren't two powers, there's one power. And that power is being each one of us. It is the love of our heart, it is the joy of our soul, it is the clarity of our mind, it is the I am that we are. And that power and that presence moves through us as law, bringing about our individualized expression of it. And so we are here to reveal all that spirit is. Love and joy and peace and vitality and supply and creative intelligence. All those things are the spiritual DNA, the building blocks of human experience. And so today we leave here grateful for knowing a bit more about who we are, for allowing our mind to remain open and aware that there's something wonderful happening right now through me, by means of me, and I am able to name it. I say, I am love in action. You might say that out loud. I am love in action. I am prosperity on the move. I am joy. I am peace. I am present here and now, completely whole. All is well with me. And so it is.
And so it
And now
is.
another song.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Birds in the trees sing so sweetly. I've come here again, all and serenity. Just open my senses and feel there is heart. I connect with this place in serendipity. I'm listening to all that is around me. I'm listening to escape the thoughts that have bound me. The world is greater secrets than I can even imagine. I'm learning and growing and loving, 'cause I'm listening. The words that I hear are not all that there is. There's so much more left unspoken. Now I will listen from my heart to yours. In lies our lives in synchronicity. 'Cause I'm listening to all that is around me. I'm listening to escape the thoughts that have bound me. The world is greater secrets than I can even imagine. I'm learning and growing and loving, 'cause I'm listening. Listening to all that is around me. I'm listening to escape the thoughts that have bound me. The world is greater secrets than I could even imagine. I'm learning and growing and loving. So listening to all that is around me. I'm listening to escape the thoughts that have bound me. The world's greatest secrets that I can't even imagine. I'm learning and growing and loving, 'cause I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Nice, thank you. All right, this is our time of conscious giving. We have ushers this morning. If you'll come forward. Conscious giving is just that, giving consciously. Not out of duty or obligation, but because we love giving. And we support this teaching, and we support this center, and everything in it, and everything that it can do in the world. And so let's say this together, the conscious giving Affirmation. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, and all that I give. I know this is so, and so it is. All right?
Sing, I am so blessed with us. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. So grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And thank you for your support, and thank you out there in Cyberland. You can get on our website, csl.carlsbad.org, and there's a donate button you can push. We also use Venmo, and we take cash and checks. There are many ways for you to support us, and we appreciate all of them. All right, so a few announcements. Today's birthday Sunday. Anybody have a birthday this month in October? When is yours? What date? What date, Pat? The 18th. Anybody else?
That's my Route 66 party game.
Anybody else? I thought I saw someone over here. No? We have a Libra in the house. Let's sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you and many more.
That's beautiful. I love birthdays. Yay! All right, so I am going to start teaching the art and science of spiritual mind treatment next Monday evening. And one of our members, she's not here today, but Jessica has arranged for us to use the recreation room at where she lives on Sunset, not too far in Oceanside. So they'll be from 6 to 8. It is a tuition class. There's a couple of books that you need, but easy to do. Sign up. There's a sign-up form in the foyer. And also, if you just want to talk to me personally about it, I'll let you know how to handle the tuition. I want to say this, though. There's 3 things I've learned in my life that were absolutely life-changing. Meditation, this teaching, and spiritual mind treatment. There's a lot of positive thinking out there in the organized world. There's a lot of centers for spiritual living. There's a lot of teachings that are kind of on the edge of learning about principle. My point is, none of them have spiritual mind treatment. We're the only teaching on this planet that teaches spiritual mind treatment, and it is stunningly effective. But you got to learn how to do it. It's not just thinking positive little nice thoughts. It's actually changing your consciousness. And there's a methodology to do it. And so that's what I'm going to be teaching, is the methodology. It's powerful. You will be forever grateful that you learned how to do it. So consider taking that class with me. You can also request spiritual mind treatment. Larry is a practitioner, as I am. And on Sunday, it's our gift to you. If you want a treatment, take us aside. Ordinarily, there is, these are professional licensed people, so there is ordinarily a small fee, as there should be, like if you've got a massage or anything else. But it's a way of experiencing it. If you need some help in your life, there's some area of your life you'd like to see expanded, evolved, or eliminated completely, let us know. We'll do it. We'll do that work for you. All right. Today, let's see, recognize our volunteers. Well, we had kind of a funny morning because Reverend Kate is still out. William, who usually sets up, wasn't present. So Kate's husband came and set up. I mean, my gosh, that man was in LA yesterday driving a U-Haul truck because their son was moving, and he did all that and came back and came here. And so he's going to come around and take things down.
I'm the other volunteer for that, so I'm ready. I'm the takedown crew.
Yay.
If you see him, thank him. Because like two of us did most of it this morning. And we're happy to give, but we do need more volunteers every week. And thank you for participating. So I'm going to call up Larry now, one of our practitioners. And he's going to help us light these candles. It's kind of like a little closing ritual. As I always say, we're a very ritual-free teaching, but people like a little bit. And so Larry's going to light the candles. So we begin with lighting a candle for life. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There's only one life, and that life is spirit. So let's say it out loud. I am light. We light a candle for love, of course. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity with everything. We are points of love within the heart of God, Ernest Holmes said. So please affirm, I am love. We light a candle for light. Light is all there is, really. We're all made out of light. And we radiate it. And it's the radiance within us that we allow the world to see. So let's say it together. I am light.
I am light.
And of course, beauty. We are made in the image and likeness of spirit. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful just as we are. We accept the beauty of spirit's perfection as our perfection. Now, please affirm with me. I am beauty. And you're beautiful too. And we light a candle for joy. Joy is that natural bubbling up within the heart that every newborn displays so beautifully. It's the very nature of spirit, and it is really the energy that creates. Joy creates. And so we want to affirm that we bring joy into the world. I am joy. And we light a candle for peace. Peace. Peace is not the absence of conflict, as you well know. It's the harmony of cooperation. And it is the launching pad for all good. It's the space between thoughts, the space between our breath, and it's there when we count to 10. So let's say it out loud. I am peace.
I am peace.
And finally, thank you, Larry, we invite you to recognize your own inner light that is always shining within as we honor each in our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles, which are ours to rely upon always. And I also want to send out a message to our beloved Reverend Kate. I saw her yesterday. She's doing really well. She probably will be back in a couple weeks. So Kate, we love you. I know you're watching, and we know the highest and best for you and for everyone in this room. Okay, so our closing group song. Let's stand up and sing that. It's on the back of the program. It's called You Can't Stop Love.
Open your heart, let your love come free out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers the dance of love. Once you get it started, watch what it does. It'll go full circle. Can't stop love one more time. Open your heart, let your love go free. Out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it go like a river, let it fly like a dove. heart remember it's our love. Once you get it started, watch what it does. Oh,